G'day guys, I've been doing a little bit of work to this. I haven't recorded, I'll just fill you in on what's been happening. Last time I left you, we were having some rough running issues after I put all the vacuum lines and pollution gear back to how I thought it should be. Now, what happened is, last time you saw it was idling really rough. I ran it for a bit, and I think it was when it heated up, I gave it a bit of a rev, and it started dribbling water out of the air filter box. And I thought, whoops, that's not really good. So I started to investigate. I thought, oh, it could be anything here. It was spitting water up through one of the pollution lines back into the air box. And I thought, blown head gasket or something, because it's obviously had some sort of cooling issues before. So I started at the source of the problem. I had a little banjo fitting going in here to the manifold from the EGR valve, and a few hoses and stuff off that, but I took the banjo fitting off. I might show you that here. Got all the parts in the car. I'm going to have to piece this back together. I hate, I pull something apart and I want to get it done immediately, and then I'll leave it for a week or so, and it can be a bit of a headache sometimes. This here was chock-a-block full of rust and crap. Everything was blocked. I cleaned everything out. That goes to the EGR valve somewhere. Yeah, in there. There's a banjo fitting that was chock-a-block, all full. No water or gas was flowing through that at all. So obviously water was getting in there somewhere. Or coolant. Not that there's coolant in it, it's just water, probably because they were losing water all the time. Probably the reason they sold it, because they thought they had a blown head gasket. Now, I don't know if you can see that there. That's the other place where it goes on. I've got no gasket for that. I'm going to have to see if I can scavenge some of my copper elastic to work on that. So anyway, no water issues around here. So I followed one of the vacuum lines back, and I don't know if you can see it, but I should have shown you this process too, because I pulled this housing, this water housing that goes on the back of the head. Now that goes to the heater hose there. I only knew that existed was because I was looking at stuff on eBay and I saw one of them for sale, and I thought, hang on a minute, that might be something to do with the problem. Now what we've got here, and there's two of these. I chased the line back, vacuum hose here, I think it was, because the first thing I did was, when I was having a look, I pulled this off and water poured out of it. This is one of the hoses going back to that whole EGR setup over there. So I pulled the housing off, and there's another one of these on the other side as well, but I'll actually go and get the other one and show you in a sec. I'll go and get that now. Now that's the old valve that came out of there. Now what that is, it's a little copper plug, and somehow operates a valve in here, so when it gets hot it switches, it opens up one of these and closes the other. At the moment I'm not going to blow on it, because every time I do, and this is how I tested it, get a mouthful of petrol fumes. So in the cold position, vacuum or pressure goes in one and comes out the other, and then when it's hot the valve switches and it shuts one off, and that's how it works. Now I'd block these off with my fingers, and I sucked on this one and it wouldn't hold vacuum. The other one there, which I got out of the parts car at the back, that works fine. Now looking at that, I cleaned the bottom of it up to get a good look. You can't really see any holes in it, like it looks fine. It actually looks better than the other one that I put in, but there must be some little pinhole that goes all the way through into this valve, fills up with water. When the valve opens, when it gets hot, it puts water through into the airbox, and of course the coolant water level drops, and you end up probably changing the fuel pump, the water pump like he did, and at the same time the timing belt, because you've got it all apart, because this is a pain in the butt. You see the water pump's behind here, and it's run by the timing belt, and this is just like an idler pulley for the fan. Now, that's the situation. Now, this is probably the whole catalyst for them pulling apart all the pollution gear and rerouting everything, blocking stuff off to stop water going back into the airbox. So haven't found the problem, and they've dodged it up to solve the issue, but then the carby's not running properly, it's idling high, and yeah, it just wasn't nice. I knew there was something wrong, and I don't know if this will solve the carby problems, but I'm a long way to getting it back how it should run from the factory. So that's the situation. I've got that. I couldn't find my aircraft gasket sealant, so I just used Celastic, and I'm hoping that holds. And I went and bought some aircraft gasket sealant today, and I'll try and put this EGR setup back in. And yeah, let's hope it all runs properly then, and we'll see. Hopefully we're all good, and it'll be all systems go again. But we'll see how it runs then. So I'll just fiddle around a bit today and do a little bit. I'm not going to get a lot done. I won't get this finished and running, but got a lot of other things to do too. Got to get stuff listed on eBay and get stuff sold. That's the situation. We're all up to date. I've replaced that valve, that switch and valve there for the pollution system. I think I've got everything hooked up how it should be. I'll replace the exhaust gas recirculation system thingy here, and fire it up, and hopefully we're good to go. And hopefully the issues they had with the cooling system haven't caused any other problems, like with the cylinder head or anything.